this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. Today I'm going to talk about a series of trades I made in the AAVE coin, or AAVE-Up, the leverage token on Binance, and compare it to the namesake of my background here, Chainlink, in LinkUp, another trade I have in play that's gone on for multiple days. So the title of this video is When to Take a Loss and When Not to, and also when to seriously consider one. So for now, let's go ahead and look at my successful trade, a ladder buy that took about a week or so, and I'll share my screen. We'll go over to the AAVE-Up chart. Okay, so here we are. On March 20th, I bought AAVE-Up for 103 at 2:30 in the afternoon. And as you can see, it took a decline, looked like it was going to recover. So I felt good about this. I did a ladder buy a little sooner than usual. I usually wait for a 10 to 15% drop in my leverage tokens, but I got in this one at about 8%. The next morning at 9 a.m., I'm in at 96.50 for my second position. I'm showing currently the 2-hour chart, so we can show all these on the same screen. Well, as you know, Bitcoin had some major turbulence last week, so it took a pretty significant drop, affected my AAVE-Up trade as well. I did buy a third position here in my ladder buy sequence on the 23rd, 82.798, 4:06 in the afternoon. So at this point, I've got 3 positions beginning on March 20th through March 23rd. And even though it goes sideways and then down again, I decide I don't want to put any more money in this trade, but I do want to hang on to it. So here's what I take into consideration when I decide to hang on to a losing trade. It's usually because I feel strongly it's going to come back, and here's why. Number one, the strength of the project. AAVE is a quality project. I won't go into the details here, but it's something I've traded in and out many times in 2021 and latter 2020. Nearly everybody in Crypt Nation feels strongly about this project. That it's got a lot going for it. And number two, the volume is strong. If a coin takes a significant volume drop, I consider dumping it, but we didn't necessarily have that in this situation. And the third thing I take into consideration is, does holding this trade prevent me from doing other trades? Does it inhibit my ability to do other trades that I want to do? I don't usually put more than 5 to 10% in any trade initially. If I do ladder buys, I tend to match the amount that I initially put in, but even then I'm usually up to 15 to 20% of my balance at the most. On this particular trade, these 3 positions equal about 10% of my balance. I was pretty conservative when I first started it, so I knew there was a potential for Bitcoin to have some drama, so I lowered my entry amount dollar values for each of my positions last week, and fortunately it paid off. And then finally is the drop due to Bitcoin, and I felt like Bitcoin played a large role in the drop of AAVE-Up in this scenario, as it dropped about 10 to 15% last week, possibly due to some whale activity, possibly due to the expiration of options on March 26th. I talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to rehash it here. So a few more days goes by, it starts to recover, and I'm starting to feel better about this trade. And then I actually am out of it this morning. March 30th, I sell AAVE-Up for 98.5, 8.19 this morning. I've got 5.4% as an average profit with these 3 positions. Roughly 16% in 10 days, which is 1.6% a day. I have some crypto investments that don't pay that well, so 1.6% a day is pretty good. So overall, I view this as a successful trade. I didn't take a loss, and I made profit in the end. And just to go over those those four aspects again. The project is strong, the volume maintained, it didn't inhibit me from making other trades, and Bitcoin was partially to blame for both the downtrend and the recovery. So with that in mind, I feel good about AAVE-Up. Now I'm going to show you one I don't feel good about. So we're going to go over here to Link. And I didn't chart it up because it was too painful, but I bought Link up in this range here between about 25 and 19. I have 4 positions in this range. And in early March, it came up to about 20. Not enough. I need to break even on this trade. I needed to be at around 24, 25. And then it hasn't really been close ever since. So I've been in this trade for probably about 6 weeks. And I've got about 15% of my balance in. So I'm annoyed that I'm in this trade that long, but 15% does not inhibit my ability to trade. I believe in the Link project. The volume is still strong. I checked CoinGecko a little while ago. It's number 11 in volume. So I do think there's a pretty good chance it could come back. I don't know if I'll get my whole investment back. I'd like to get more back than I would if I sold now. If I sold now, I'd take a pretty bad loss, about 50%. So this is the downside of the strategy I just explained. This does happen from time to time. I'm in another coin sort of like this, Elrond, but less money, fewer positions, and a smaller drop, about 20%. So, a 50% drop with 15% of my balance, that's going to take me 3 to 5 days probably to make up. In other day trading profits, the Elrond would probably take 2 or 3 days if I took that loss. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep holding on to these and continue to use the ladder buying method and taking into consideration the 4 things I just explained. So the strength of the project, volume, ability to make other trades, and what role does Bitcoin play. So as long as I have answered those questions to my satisfaction, I feel okay about staying in a trade longer than a lot of traders would. A lot of traders, actually both of the programs that I talk about, iCoin Pro is pretty strong about taking no more than a 10% loss, then getting out. That's what Justin Clark teaches, and what Bryce and Pizza Mine teach, and Encrypt Nation is to use your stop losses a lot. As I've explained before, I don't use stop losses very often. I do want to do one final example of something I did bail on quickly. I didn't chart it up, so I'm just going to go quickly to my spreadsheet and just describe it. On March 1st, on Altcoin Alert, I received a SIGDEV for the new listing Badger. I found Badger on FTX. It's a small volume coin, but it was a spot trade I could make. I initiated a trade at 10:08 p.m. and I was too late. On the SIGDEVs, you have to move within a couple minutes usually, and I was just too late. The coin went up slightly after I bought it, and then I decided to hold it overnight, which was a mistake, and it dropped. Next morning, I got out, took a 17% loss. Fortunately, on FTX, I don't have a large balance on that platform, and I didn't lose a lot of money. Actually, I made it up the same day. So, but regardless, that's a situation I bailed on because I don't believe in the project. The volume is low. Bitcoin was not involved regarding its demise, and it didn't inhibit me from making any other trades, but 3 out of the 4 in the negative, I bailed on that immediately. I was only in that trade for about 9 or 10 hours, and I was out, took the loss, and didn't think twice about it. Well, maybe twice, but anyway. So that's all I have for today's trade of the day, when to take a loss, when not to, and things to consider. I really like that we've been mixing it up in our Slack group about this issue. Reasonable people can disagree. So If you would like to leave a comment and share your opinions on this, or email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you about it. But that's all I have for today. Please stay tuned for the additional messages and check out the tools and resources in the comments below. They help support this channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.